Hi scrapbookers, this is Tricia at Club Scrap with another edition of our Page Kit tutorials. This time we're working on the Coffeehouse collection. This was released in December of 2019, so thanks for joining me. I don't know how long it's been since you've received your kit, but we're in for a good time. I've got my instructions printed here, and this is always available as a download. And then I also have the collection, which includes some beautiful ribbons. We've got these lovely little wood cuts, these coffee cup shape and the two words. And then we have a set of 5 coconut shell buttons. These are really nice from both sides, whether you use the front or the back side. I have a dozen photo mats, which we're going to file into our accordion pocket file. And we also have a really cool sheet of in-house design stickers. These are proudly made in the United States, and they're really a fun addition to our pages. And then we also have our paper collection. So what we're going to do first is get all these papers sorted into the preferred order. And to find that, I'm going to look right away on page 2 of my instructions, and that will help guide the way. So the first piece I want you to find is one sheet of this black print, and then we'll just hold this in our arm and then accumulate a nice pile of paper on our trimmer base face down. Then the next thing we need is this really pretty cream print. We'll put that face down on the trimmer. And then we need a sheet of red plain. And then one sheet of the mocha. Now the mocha is the darker color, and it's got a gorgeous felt finish. Love, love, love this print. Next, I want you to find one of the sheets of cut aparts. It probably will be toward the back of the stack, and it's got a lot of strips on it, face down. And then the other sheet of cut aparts as well. We'll put that face down. And then I'm going to start organizing the rest of the paper in the order we'll be using it for the base of our pages. So that'll be another black print. And then, let's see, I need a red plain. I had 2 of the reds stuck together. And then I'm going to need the parchment, or this, we're calling it latte. It's a nice parchment kind of a look to it. Then we'll move forward to 2 cream plains, 1 cream print. We'll turn that face down again, and then the other mocha plain with that felt finish. Flip everything on over, and then we're going to start here at the top. Next, we'll sort the photo mats according to the layouts that we'll be using them on. And let's start out with 3 red photo mats. Those are going to go in the pocket for layout 1 and 2, along with 1 additional mocha. And again, this is the felt finish version. Then the 2 remaining mocha photo mats will be used in layouts 3 and 4. Then let's take 3 black photo mats for 5 and 6, and 3 latte photo mats in pockets 7 and 8. Now we're ready to begin the trimming process, and that goes back to the paper that we've accumulated in its appropriate order. We've got some nice easy cuts here to start with. So we'll take this black print, place it right side up into the trimmer, and cut at 6.5. Now, if this is the first time you're using this trimmer, just always make sure you stabilize by pushing down on the clear bar before you make your slice. Both of these pieces are used in layouts 3 and 4. Next, I'll take this cream print and place it into the trimmer with the coffee pots in the upper right corner. We'll cut at 6 3/4. That'll take that slice just above the knob on the French press. Both of these pieces are used in layouts 5 and 6. Next, we'll take the red plain, just making sure you have 1 of them, and we'll make a series of cuts to create really narrow strips. So the first one is at 11 3/4. It's 11 3/4. Then 11.5, 11 1/4, 10, and 5 3/4. Let's take this piece, rotate it so it's horizontally, and trim at 11 1/4, 7.5, 3 3/4. That should give you 3 pieces of the same height and width, and we're going to file all of them in pocket 3 and 4. There will be a smaller scrap when you are done, I'm sorry to say. Now the very next piece to the right of the blade, this is 4 1/4 by 12 right now. Let's cut that horizontally at 9 3/4, 6.5, and 3 1/4. piece in the base of your trimmer right now. Put that in pocket 1 and 2. There are 2 more pieces the same size. Put one in 5 and 6 and the other in pocket 7 and 8. And there's one more narrow rectangle. We'll trim that horizontally at 3 1/4 and file that in pocket 5 and 6. There is going to be a tiny little scrap. Okay, then we have a few more narrow strips left over. There's a pretty wide one. Let's put that in pocket 5 and 6. Then there are 3 really skinny guys. Put one of them in pocket 1 and 2, and the other 2 pieces in 3 and 4. We'll reach for our mocha plain. We're going to make a bunch more narrow strips. So we'll go again at 11 3/4, 11 1/2, 11 1/4, and 9 1/2, and 6. We'll rotate and cut the 6 by 12 horizontally at 8 and 4. Take one of these 4 by 6s, we'll put it in pocket 3 and 4, and the other 2 will be placed in 7 and 8. Now we have a 3 1/2 by 12 inch strip. We'll cut this horizontally at 11 1/4, 7 1/2, 3 3/4. These 3 pieces that are the same size are filed in pockets 7 and 8. There will be a tiny little scrap. Set that one aside. The wider strip that remains, pocket that in 7 and 8. And then you have 3 more strips. They're all the same size. Those will be placed in pocket 5 and 6. Now we're moving ahead to the cut aparts. So these are the border strips we want to tackle first. They're very, very faint on this print, but you can see a tiny little hash mark both at the bottom and the top edge of this piece. So I'm going to place this in my trimmer with the red strip on the right, and my first cut will be at around 10 1/2. Most of these cuts will land on the nearest 1/4 inch. So then I'll move down to 9 3/4 and 9. We'll go to 7 and 4 1/2. This 4 1/2 inch piece will be placed in pockets 7 and 8. I'm going to pick up all the rest, trying to leave them in the order that they landed. This larger piece here and the one after it that has the title Eat, Drink, and Be Cozy. Both of those go on 1 and 2. And we have the darker stripe and Live an Inspired Life. Both of those are used in pocket 5 and 6. And then this red strip, 7 and 8. Now this next piece, we accidentally hid the registration mark layer when we printed this. So the registration marks or cutting guides were inadvertently omitted. I apologize for that error. I have given you the exact dimensions if you need them for the trimming, but I'm going to walk you through that right now, so no worries. And the advantage, I guess, is that you don't have the registration marks on there. So the first cut here will be at 11 inches. And again, that is placed with this narrow red strip on the right and the large piece of red on the left. Then we'll slide down to 8. And then 5. Let's rotate so that the large red piece goes toward the left. And we'll cut at 8. This larger piece is used in pocket 3 and 4. And let's place the coffee mug back in with this narrow strip on the right, and we'll cut at 4 inches. The mug is used in layout 1 and 2, and the narrow little strip is used in pocket 3 and 4. Then pick up the very next strip, place it in the trimmer so the word espresso is on the right. We'll cut at 10, 8, 6, and 4. And then we're going to rotate so that brewing up some fawn is on the left and trim vertically at 2 inches. The brewing image goes in pocket 3 and 4. And then this narrow strip of coffee mugs, 1 and 2. This vertical journaling prompt, 1 and 2. The prompt with the word love, 5 and 6. The French press with journaling, 7 and 8. And espresso may not be answered, but it's worth a shot. Also 7 and 8. Now this next strip is easy. We're just going to trim it horizontally at 8 and 4. So I don't rise and shine. That goes in pockets 7 and 8. Greet each day with curiosity, 5 and 6. Coffee makes everything okayer. That's 1 and 2. And finally, the red strip is used on layout 5 and 6. Believe it or not, that concludes all the trimming required for all 8 layouts. I'm going to set aside my trimmer and we'll get ready for the next step. First of all, I'm going to point out that these are the 3 scraps that remain after making all 8 pages, which I think is pretty amazing. You also might have just a few stickers left over, but that still isn't bad for 8 entire layouts. Now, earlier when we sorted our papers, the next paper in our stack should be that black print. And the reason we have that next is because that is the base for layout number 8. And as always, what I like to do is build my layouts by dry fitting them, meaning place the elements without any adhesive from bottom to top. So 8 will be the first layout that we work on, and then we'll work our way up to layout number 1. And by then, all of the pieces will be placed, and then we can work it from 1 back to 8 again with our adhesive embellishing, and then eventually our photographs. So this is the base for layout 8, the black print, and then I'm going to take everything out of the pocket labeled 7 and 8. And again, at home, I like to work, you don't want to have more space when I'm not working on a camera. I like to do both layouts at the same exact time. So what I'm looking for here is this Sip in My border strip. That's going to sort of subdivide our page. And then earlier we had, I showed you the wood words that we had. So the word bliss is designed to fit right into this opening. And then there should be 3 smaller mocha colored mats. We'll place them horizontally to have them fit really well across above this border strip here. And then beneath the strip, we'll take one of the latte colored mats, and then a vertical red mat will nest perfectly with this cut apart. Take one of those wood cups, and then we also would add a sticker in the lower right. So let me just show you how I finished that up with a bow and a sticker on the final layout here. And here's the finished page with that sticker. And then I also made a really pretty bow just with a really basic bow technique. I literally went online and looked for making a perfect bow. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it, and I think I finally do. I'm going to set this aside then and slide in the red plain. I'll take the remaining pieces that I have. So this larger border strip here will be vertically on the left, and then 2 of those latte photo mats nested with 2 4x6 mocha mats. So that's a double mat. And it's really almost like putting together a puzzle here at the bottom. These 2 cut aparts fit perfectly. I think this got misfiled. I'll have to set that aside, which is the nice part. Oh, and this piece, I'm sorry to say, I forgot goes, and this is why we do this, that goes right behind the Sip in My Bliss border strip here. So just keep that in mind to put that brown strip behind that border. Okay, so this is back to layout number 8. Here's layout 7. One other minor finishing touch here was just tying a piece of this gorgeous, super soft, almost felt like ribbon around the larger cut apart. Here's the final page with just a sticker added here at the bottom and the ribbon attached. The base for layout 6 begins with this latte or parchment-like base, and then I'm going to take the larger portion of that print with the latte cup right here and then wallpaper that on. And I'm going to add 2 vertical black mats to this. I'm going to show you a fun trick in just a second. Above this, I'll add this long border strip, and then I'll add some contrast between the strip and the paper by placing one of those mocha, really, really narrow strips above and below. And then finally, we're going to add that stripe right there. And a nested journaling prompt, which is kind of handy. And then in these areas, I did take one of the stickers. You can take just anything you want. I mean, these you can just add at the very, very end. I added the word blessed, and just peel that off and place that at the bottom of the love journaling prompt. So just as an idea of how those stickers work. They're really pretty basic. Another one's added up here. And then you might be wondering, well, Tricia, on my picture of this page, why is that coffee cup in front of the mat? Well, it's pretty simple. What I basically did was took the photo mat, once it was temporarily placed where I knew it was going to be, I took a pencil and marked where the edge of the mat meets the image, both at the top and the bottom of the cup. Then take a craft knife and just cut along the edge of that half circle. And you want to do this before you attach this to the base page. It works much better if you're just cutting through one layer. Once the slit's been made, the photo mat will slide right behind the coffee cup, and now I have this in the foreground instead of in the background. To finish this, I also just placed one of those coconut shell buttons on each side, and I believe I attached these with the darker side facing up using our foam adhesive circles. All right, so this, my friends, is already layout number 6. So I'll set this aside and slide the other parchment latte base paper over. And we are going to take the remaining elements that were in that pocket, 5 and 6. Here we start at the top with what used to be the bottom, but it is now the top portion of this print, which is really kind of handy. Then we have the mocha, the real narrow mocha strip, followed by the black strip that says Live an Inspired Life, a horizontal photo mat. Here we've got a red mat that should nest perfectly. Oh, and once again, foiled. This red strip was designed to nest perfectly behind this sweet little border over here. Completely forgot to have that added for you. Okay, so here's what's left of this. Now at the bottom, I did take one of the stickers that says today is my new favorite day. And as you're removing the sticker, just be really careful. And once you peel that away, you can stick that to the bottom of the layout and boom, you're done. Very, very nice. Okay, so this is the finished version. I see that the wood coffee cup and another sticker was added here. And then the sticker that says, I don't bench press, I French press. That was added right in this spot. Such a fun page. I absolutely love this. Okay, moving along. I still have this misfiled piece, so bear with me. We'll find where that lives. I believe it's going to be on 1 and 2. Okay, so now the next paper I have in my stack of 12 by 12s is a cream plain. And then you'll need to empty the pocket labeled 3 and 4. Let's see if I can remember all the strips and where they go for this one. Okay, so I have one portion, that large black print will go right along the edge, flush with the edge. And then we're going to separate the two areas, the cream and the black, with a strip of the red. Love how that looks. Then here we'll add that larger cut apart, and one of the 4x6 mats will fit right in here. And basically to get this ready to tuck, I took my craft knife and just cut along the edge of these little curved areas. Once you create those 4 little slits, you'll be able to slide the corners of your photo mat right underneath that. And that really works easily and goes quickly. Then you can take 2 of these 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mats. Now remember, it's the smaller mat has to go here. I almost made the mistake myself. So make sure you grab, there's going to be 3 mocha colored mats in here. Make sure you grab the 4x6 for this spot and the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 for these spots. Add a sticker above and below and finish with some of that satin ribbon. Here is that finished page with all of those elements in place. We even added the word beautiful right here, just right along the edge of that mat. And you can see how nicely that mocha paper slid beneath the corner here that I trimmed with my craft knife. Lovely. Okay, now we have the other cream plain. We can take our remaining portion of the black and this time place it along flush with the left edge of the paper, and we'll do the seam separator again, adding that little bit of color transition there. And cleverly, these 3 red mats will fit so nicely within the remaining area here. And here we have a cut apart that really can be like a tag. So you can just snip off those corners. Now, if you happen to have some eyelets or something on hand, you can certainly pop an eyelet in there if you'd like, using a crocodile, and then add a little bit of the really pretty taffeta black ribbon. I love this ribbon because of its matte finish. It just looks so nice with this set. And then we have my birthstone is a coffee bean up here. If you'd like, you can also round the corners of this with a corner chomper. You can use the 1/4 inch setting, or you can go ahead and use the 1/2 inch setting. That makes just a little bit of a different look on that, but there we go. It really rounds it out. Nice. Okay, so I believe that sort of rounds out this page. A few more stickers were used as well. This little element, one at the top and one at the bottom of the page. And I'll show you that on the finished layout. Here we have the sticker here and in this spot, and the ribbon tied onto the tags. Everything needed for our final layout is in pocket 1 and 2, which I've emptied. We've got a lot of fun things happening over on this one. We'll start out with a vertical mocha colored photo mat and then a horizontal red mat. I did the same exact trick here with the coffee cup, where I calculated where I wanted my red mat to live, made my marks, cut along the edge of the cup, and this slides right underneath. A smaller red mat can be placed horizontally here to nest with this guy. And then we have, once again, this oblong shaped row of coffee mugs, and you can add eyelets to that and clip the corners if you'd like. Let me show you the finished piece with a couple of stickers added and some ribbon. So this was made with a 3-part bow and that felt-like ribbon, just such a pretty accent to this layout. And then here's the word love added, and my coffee cup kind of on top of the red mat. You can see the red mat sneaking in from the back. Perfect. Okay, so now the final piece for layout 1 is this mocha colored base. Then across the top, first I guess we'll do the side. We'll place one of these darker strips, and then across the top the eat, drink, and be cozy. And then the red strip to just separate the space a little bit. Now this mug was easily cut with scissors, just kind of fussy cut around it, not a big deal. I did leave the opening in the handle, but if you want, you can remove that. Finish with 2 red photo mats. And then here, from the sticker sheet, if you just take the beans and you add those to the top of the journaling prompt, that was the one that was accidentally misfiled. And then the word wish right on top of that is super sweet. You can even add a little button beneath that for a finishing touch. Then across the bottom, we'll add, this is my happy place. So this, can be one of the things you add, certainly after you have your vertical mat positioned. It's your vertical piece. Very nice. Okay, so that's layout number 1. Wow, I think this is probably the quickest set of 8 layouts in Club Scrap history. Extremely easy. As you saw, very little waste. And now that we have all of the pieces placed where they're going to live, you can come back with your adhesive, stick everything down. Don't forget to use your 3x14 grid ruler to ensure that everything is nice and level and clean. And then you can come back with your pictures and finish these pages up with journaling and other memories. So now that this is done, the pages are complete, please be sure to join me for the card kit tutorial for the Coffeehouse collection. It's going to be a great time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next month.